What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for MicroStrategy Incorporated with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So back with another week of market action, guys. You know MicroStrategy is the most popular stock in the market right now for us, so we got to cover that every day. So if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And let's begin the analysis. So I'm getting over a cold right now, so that's why my voice does sound a little funny. But again, this is my passion, and I love to do it. So let's take a look at the daily chart. What happened today? Well, obviously last Friday price. MicroStrategy did get included into the will join the Nasdaq 100 index. Starting looks like December 23rd. So I mean the price gapped up. It was already likely for the price to continue higher. But looks like price sold back down to fill in the gap and closed basically right where it closed on Friday. So you can see that it's a 0.04% negative change. So basically flat since Friday. So again, price gapped up and then price went down to fill in the gap. I was expecting price to just continue moving up higher. But again, sometimes, actually a lot of times, you'll see the gap be filled, especially if this was a range breakout. So let's go over the technicals. You can see that I wrote down the bullish case and the bearish case, and these cases only contain technical reasons why, not fundamental reasons, because just to simplify this. And also, I don't want to cloud my judgment, because a lot of times you'll have a stock with a bunch of bullish cases going for it, and it just continues to trend down lower and lower, just continues to go down lower and lower. So I don't want to have this bias against have a fundamental bias. I want to just focus on the technicals, and if the fundamentals are really good, which it is for MicroStrategy, they own more than 400,000 bitcoins. If Bitcoin doubles, which most likely it will, this is also going to go up a large amount. And they're going to continue to buy more Bitcoin. So you could just go on and on about the bullish case for the fundamentals, but that's just more of a bonus. I want to focus on the technicals here. So let's go over the bullish case. What is the bullish case? Well, overall, price is in a macro uptrend. So price continuously makes higher highs, higher lows over the long term, which is a good sign. Most likely that will continue in the future. Second reason is that there's a measured move objective at the 1550 level. So between the $1,500 level and the $1,600 level is the target for the bulls. So that tells me that the trend is likely to continue moving up higher. And that is the target in play as of right now. And that's the first target. There's also going to be other targets in the future as well. The second bullish case, or the third bullish case, is this just looks like a pullback. You see that price basically bottomed here in December of 2022, and we have seen large drops. If I use the measuring tool, this drop right here was about 39%. This one right here was about 32%. This one right over here was 30%. Or let me take a look again, 38%. This one right over here was about 50%. And this one right over here that we're currently seeing, it has dropped already about 38%. And where we are right now is only about 25%. So overall, this just looks like a pullback. Most likely the trend will continue moving up higher. Let's go over another bullish case. Well, another bullish case is this was a range breakout. So sometimes a range breakout would be bearish, but in this case, it does look bullish. Why? Because price broke out of the range after several other failed attempts. This was a failed attempt right over here. Price sold off. This was a failed attempt right here. Price came back in the range. A range is like a black hole. It's just going to suck the price back into it. And now this is the third breakout. And a lot of times, if price breaks out several times and fails, and after let's say the third time, which just what it is, most likely this one can succeed. So this looks bullish that price broke out of the range. It could be a breakout pullback trade, meaning we break out, we pull back to test the range for support, and then we continue trading up higher. So that's what it looks like it's setting up to do as of right now, because price has not gone below that $400 level, which is a good sign. And this is a bullish imbalance. You can see that price is making a higher lows, a low, a higher low, another higher low. And now we just saw the range breakout. So it looks like the bulls are driving up that price. And then bears, they lost this trend line right here, which shows a loss of strength by the bears. So that's all the bullish case technically that I can find. There might be a couple more that you miss. You don't see everything all the time, but that's what I see as right now. Now let's take a look at the bearish case. Bears have the measure move target at the 275 or 277 still in play. So that is not out of the question. We are definitely still in the realm of still dropping below the $300 level. I don't want to invalidate this. This target is not invalidated as of right now. Until we can see a break above the 445, this target is still in play. So it might even be play even if we do continue higher. But that's another story. We'll go over that later. If price if it does come to that. But as right now, this target is still in play towards the downside. Bears are still trying to drive down the price, as you can see today. But it looks like they're struggling, as in the prior week, and most likely this week they could also fail as well. So that bearish measurable target is still in play at the 270 level. And there's also a gap that can be filled, so that's another good target for the bears. And we are a little bit overextended on the weekly chart. So let's go on the weekly chart. Here's a look at the weekly chart since January 2023. You can see that every pullback after the market makes an impulse comes back to that EMA. Every pullback comes back to the EMA eventually, like over here. And now look at this. We have not gone back to the EMA yet, but the EMA is right at that 275 level. You can see how this blue line right here is at the 275 level. So it makes sense why price can go down lower. So overall, there's still that bearish side to the picture that you cannot ignore as of right now. And let's take a look at the last bearish case, which was a range. So again, I put this under the bullish case, but it also works for the bearish case, because if we do fall below that $400 level, the price is back inside that range. You can see it fall back below, but you don't want to see it stay there for a long time. It can temporarily fall back below and immediately reverse, meaning something like this. So we can temporarily fall back down and immediately reverse, something like that real quick, which is fine. You don't want to see price get down, close in the range, and then to see a couple more candles close lower, most likely will trend down lower. So overall, it's still highly likely that we continue to trend up higher from where we are right now. And this is kind of setting up to be a breakout pullback. You can see that there is more bullish factors favored instead of the bearish factors, even in the short term. So this does look pretty good. But again, there's still that bearish case that cannot be ignored. And I don't want to invalidate that target until it is invalidated, because as right now, it's still valid. But overall, it looks still pretty good for MicroStrategy. Don't be surprised if we do see lower prices. But either way, even if we do trade to the 275 level, I'm still long-term bullish. Why? Because this is still a pullback. Unless we see a huge amount of selling, meaning price gets back below the 180 level and a very sharp move down, like a huge flash crash, then that won't change my mind. I will still be looking for higher prices until we see that. If we see that flash crash, then that could change things. But until then, this is still just a pullback. Even if we do see a bigger pullback, sometimes you'll have small pullbacks, sometimes you'll have bigger pullbacks. So if we get a bigger pullback to the 270 level, then it is what it is. But I'm still expecting higher prices from there, because a long-term uptrend will still be in play. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart. Like I said before, it's just a consolidation at the highs of this uptrend, which is a good sign. Let me take a look at the prior all-time high, which is back over here in 2000. And that was at the $300 level. So we could be seeing price come back to that level. A lot of times you'll see price come back to breakout zones, just like over here. You could draw a line across this level right here. And this was a breakout. And price came back to it. You see that this was resistance here, price pushed through, tested that level for support, and then rallied higher. You can move the line up again from the prior high. Price broke through, came back to test the level, found support, and then rallied through. We didn't do that over here. We just did a small minor attempt because the price was very strong. But we may do that maybe in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But as right now, it's very strong, the trend. We may not see a move down to that 270 level. But again, it's not something to ignore. It's still in play. But overall, still looking pretty good for MicroStrategy on the daily and weekly charts. There's still a strong bullish factor in play. I like to do these bullish and bearish cases because it's kind of like, let's say you play chess by yourself. You're not on any specific side. You just go with you do your best on either side you're on. So I'm pretending I'm a bull. I'm pretending I'm a bear. So let's say I'm a bear, then I want to make sure that I got everything going for me to make a decision. Same thing for the bulls. I'm looking at every factor that could be bullish If I'm a bear, I'm looking at every factor that could be bearish. So you have to weigh your options. And when it's a clear imbalance, then that's when you're on the right side of the market. Right now, it's a slight bearish, it's a slight bullish imbalance going on in the short term. Long term, it's a huge bullish imbalance because this still just looks like a pullback, and price still can't go below the 362 level in a long time. So overall, short term, it's a slight bullish imbalance. Long term, it's a huge bullish imbalance. But we'll see. Things can change. In the short term, the imbalances can shift. It can go from bullish to bearish, bullish to bearish, bearish to bullish. It can go back and forth. But the long-term picture doesn't change until you see a lot more price action develop. So all I have for MicroStrategy, the daily weekly charts, and this is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.